on the foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on the foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on the foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on the foreign show.
Hola, soy Hanna de la Madrid y te invito a que todos los jueves en punto de la 1 de la tarde nos acompañes en el programa Psycho Mom. Estaremos hablando de temas de actualidad y los retos que enfrentamos las mujeres en nuestro día a día. ¿Por dónde? En ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Hola, yo soy Alicia Rábago y te invito a que todos los viernes a las 9 de la mañana no te pierdas Acompañándonos. Es un programa que tiene temas de salud, de educación, de bienestar, de crecimiento personal, de estar y compartir. Son programas de interés para ti, para mí y para todos. Así que te espero los viernes 9 a.m. en Acompañándonos por ADR Networks.
Algunos dicen que el Café de las 10 es el programa más interesante de Internet.
Otros dicen que el Café de las 10 es el programa más inútil de Internet.
La verdad es que no lo sabemos.
Lo que sí sabemos es que de las 10 de la mañana a las 12 del día vas a pasar un rato muy agradable hablando de diferentes temas como
Noticias,
Videojuegos,
actualidad,
videojuegos,
política,
videojuegos,
salud.
Mira, no te lo pierdas. De lunes a viernes a las 10 de la mañana, escucha el Café de las 10 en ADR Networks.
activando tus sentidos.
Escúchenos, perros.
ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Amigos, queremos invitarlos
A que no se pierdan La Casa del Pelotero
todos los jueves de 7 a 8 de la noche.
a través de ADR Networks.
Activando tus sentidos.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Alberto Morales
Y yo soy Yolanda Muedano.
y te invitamos a nuestro programa Jite Karate Do, Artes Marciales y Deportes de Contacto
Todos los lunes en punto de las 9 de la mañana,
para platicar de lo mejor de las artes marciales
aquí en ADR Networks.
y ADR Sports.
Activando tus sentidos marciales.
Hola amigos, yo soy Mike y los quiero invitar todos los viernes a la 1 de la tarde a que sintonicen Magic Mike, donde encontrarán las mejores sugerencias para qué ver, qué leer o a dónde ir. No se lo pierdan, viernes 1 de la tarde por ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Hola, yo soy Alicia Rábago y te invito a que todos los viernes a las 9 de la mañana no te pierdas Acompañándonos. Es un programa que tiene temas de salud, de educación, de bienestar, de crecimiento personal, de estar y compartir. Son programas de interés para ti, para mí y para todos. Así que te espero los viernes 9 a.m. en Acompañándonos por ADR Networks.
Hola, soy Jonathan Tonatiu y te atrapo los martes a las 4 de la tarde aquí para conocer el mundo del teatro. Vamos a viajar por noticias, estrenos, información y muchas cortesías. ¿Sabes en dónde? En ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Los saluda Mariano Rivapalacio y los invito a que me acompañen todos los miércoles en punto de las 6 de la tarde en Factor Total. Aquí hablamos de temas de salud, de ciencia, de tecnología, problemáticas sociales, cultura y tradiciones, siempre de la mano de especialistas y voces autorizadas. Ya lo saben, 6 de la tarde, tiempo del Centro de México, a través de las plataformas digitales de ADR Networks. Factor Total, activando tus sentidos.
Hola, yo soy la doctora Verónica Ortega y te invito a aprender de medicina, medicina funcional, salud, bienestar, cocina natural, ejercicio, mindfulness y mucho más todos los lunes en punto de las 7 en mi programa Salud y Bienestar por ADR Network, activando y sanando tus sentidos.
Hola, soy Eric Cadena.
Yo soy Ale García.
Y yo, Mariana Torres. Y te invitamos a que no te pierdas TU,
un programa del mundo del entretenimiento donde tocaremos temas como música,
teatro, televisión,
artistas invitados, cine, series
y mucho más. Así que te la pasarás TU todos los sábados
a la 1 de la tarde
por ADR Networks,
activando tus sentidos.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
The Foreign Show! On the Foreign Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Foreign Show. It's Friday, 3 p.m. I'm Isaac Rakesh.
And I'm Celestine Angel, and we are here on ADR Networks, activating your senses.
Yes.
So we just need to know if we can be heard, and we are good to go. So we would like to share with you like this flyer that we also showed you like I think a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week.
There we go. It is an international party. All right, edition Otoño.
Okay.
Right. What we're looking at is an event.
Yes. This is actually like an updated flyer from the last time we showed you, because this one it says that the first 25 persons that appear would get a cortesia. You know?
Yes.
So you get like a free tequila. I don't know if it's a shot or a cocktail kind of thing. So yeah, come down and join us, and it'll be so fun because you have like dance classes and karaoke and our show.
Yes. So let's break it down for you guys. You come down to the place. There's going to be mezcal. All right. There's going to be karaoke. Right. There's going to be basically cocktails before the event. Right. We're going to be doing our set. All right. And the idea of this event was also kind of like based off of one of our ex-guest, Plaka Elele, right? And his idea for Intercambio, which was like a school that was based on kind of learning Spanish by communicating and actually kind of just doing activities together, right? So he's one of the organizers of this event.
Yes.
And he's bringing that flavor of Intercambio, which is cultural exchange.
Yeah.
Which is why he actually named this an international party.
Yeah, and that's why it's also a very appropriate party for you guys to join us, because you will have a focus of in exchange, you know. So
yes.
It'll be great. There'll be like everyone will be there from everywhere. Basically, that's the idea.
And also a big shout out to the Independent Dance Studio. That's where it's going to be held. So come on down. All right, it's going to be a nice event where you get to meet a lot of these people. There'll be some artists there. We'll be there, you know, and also some of the people who are involved in the dance studio. come on down. All right, October 19th.
Okay. So our guest is here, and
Yes.
we would like to jump right in with him.
Yes, let's do it.
He's early.
Welcome. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Jose.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, it's nice to be back.
And welcome back to Mexico. I know you just came home.
Hi, thank you. No, thank you for having me. This is a pleasure to be here again.
Welcome back to the show, Dr. Jose. All right. Why don't we break it down for the people, because this episode we're going to be actually talking specifically about an activity that you were engaged in. Maybe you want to tell us a bit about that event.
Yeah, right, for sure. Yes, I was last week in Austria. I was lucky enough to be chosen to participate in this lipid metabolism seminar. That's kind of a update on medical topic, very specific. And this is an event that occurs in Austria, in the city of Salzburg, where Mozart is from. And they have a lot of doctors from different countries. Oh, I think I'm not seeing you guys. Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, we're back. Sorry about that technical error, that difficulty over there. We got disconnected. Hi.
All right, Jose, please continue.
Yes,
don't worry.
you were telling us about the seminar that you attended.
Yes, that was about lipid metabolism. This organization has this initiative to update on medical data or medical education all around the country in different topics. And well, I was lucky enough because I am really passionate about this topic, about lipid, cholesterol, triglycerides, obesity, atherosclerosis. That's kind of the things that I like. And they gather a lot of doctors from a lot of countries, 20 countries, from from Eastern Europe mostly. And the goal is that we get to learn a lot of new about new researches, new treatments, new options, how to approach the patients. And then we need to replicate that in our setting, in our countries. So I think that's really huge. That's really valuable thing to do, as this big initiative that has its base in Salzburg. But we have a good relationship here in Mexico with them. So they also have seminars of that same institute here in Mexico City as well. So that's really cool.
So how was the selection process like? Like, how did they decide which doctors to send? Or were you the only one?
No, every doctor can apply. Like, it doesn't matter if you are endocrinologist, cardiologist, internal medicine, general practice. You can apply to the website. In my particular case, I was actually not aware of this seminar. I was invited because my hospital received an invitation letter. So I applied. We and some other fellows from endocrinology, and I was they see our CVs, they interview us. What they want is someone that can, as I said, replicate like the events here in Mexico. They look for a certain, I don't know, like leadership, maybe skills, and that you can speak English freely because the seminar is English based. Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned lipids, right? You mentioned some of the things that are involved with this. maybe for our viewers and for those who are new to this area that you're talking about, could you lay it out for us, like what exactly like maybe the part of medicine that you're kind of focused on, and kind of, because I want to kind of lead it into this question that I want to ask you, which is, what are some of these new exciting things that you kind of learn over there at that institute?
Yeah, for sure.
Seminar?
Yeah, of course. Well, we actually know what we are dying about. We are dying of mostly of cardiovascular disease. That means infarct, either a heart or a stroke, and that is caused many times. It is caused by high cholesterol levels, which is a kind of fat that we have in our bloods, and we need cholesterol. We need to synthesize hormones to produce heat, or well, to stay stable at normal temperature, and it has many functions. But the thing is that if you that there are some kind of diseases or some kind of medications or some kind of situations where the cholesterol levels could be higher than normal, and that cholesterol is gonna accumulate in the blood vessels, and that is gonna stop the blood flow, and that's gonna cause eventually an infarct. And there is this other kind of fat, which is triglycerides, which is mostly based on what we eat. Fat in our meals, or actually higher amounts of carbohydrates can turn into triglycerides. And that is also there are some other diseases that can be caused by high triglycerides levels, like pancreatitis or some other diseases. And what is important about this is that this is asymptomatic, that you don't know, you don't feel anything different for having high cholesterol levels or high triglycerides. So it is important to have a screening program to check, like, even if you're healthy, if you feel good, to check a lipid profile to see if something is going on, because as soon as we start treatment, we can avoid complications in the future, like stroke or like cardiovascular disease. That's what we aim for.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, in general, what would be the advice you give to lower cholesterol levels and all that?
Yes, and I was also going to say, just to add to your question, I mean, that's such a big and I would say a very important part, that thing that you mentioned, right? I mean, you're talking about taking care of yourself and kind of delaying death, right? Delaying all these other symptoms as well. But yes, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, this kind of fat, they behave differently. Like triglycerides are mostly based on what we eat. So obviously, if we eat healthier, like higher protein instead of carbs, vegetables, fiber, those are gonna have. If you have take those measures also with exercise, you're gonna have really good levels of triglycerides. But with cholesterol levels, it's more tricky. Like, we as doctors, we need to try to address the cause of the cholesterol level. Either if it's a medication, if it's a hormone imbalance, or what we have, at least in Mexico, that is really common, is some kind of genetic disease that your body doesn't have every enzyme to break down the cholesterol, to clear the cholesterol from your blood, or either you produce a lot of cholesterol, because our liver can produce cholesterol. So sometimes it's really hard to explain to patients, because they may be on a really strict diet and they are avoiding any kind of cholesterol meal, like fat from animals, like if they are on a vegetarian diet, they may have high cholesterol levels, even if they are really on a strict diet. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help a lot. It's gonna help, yes, but not a lot. Not to achieve the goals that we are looking for.
Could you break that down for us?
Yeah, like how come?
Because common understanding is that, yes, if you stay away from eggs, you stay away from those things, you're gonna manage your cholesterol. But you're saying there's a lot there, right?
Yeah, that has been studied particularly about eggs, because they have high cholesterol levels in the yolk. But what we have seen is that the impact of having daily eggs, it's not enough to cause disease. Like, if you are telling to your patients to avoid eggs, they're gonna eat maybe a worse quality protein. And eggs are cheap. This is a good amount of protein, and the amount of cholesterol, like in the diet, is not really that important. It is important, but it is not that important. So when we are dealing with patients with high cholesterol levels, it is actually easier to treat them with medications. That medication tells the liver to stop producing cholesterol, and that is enough in plenty of the cases.
So basically, I mean okay. So anyway, like this is information that you've been like discussing when you were on the seminar. Is this one of the exciting things that you were talking about?
Yes, we would like to. Yeah, we'd like to hear some of the the things that you mentioned.
Yes, like this is the basis of it. Like this is already on a basic level but the thing that I am particularly interested on, and that we were talking on this seminar about, is a certain type of cholesterol that is called lipoprotein little a. And that is a different kind of cholesterol, because sometimes it happens that we have a patient with an infarct and we control the cholesterol level with medications, and we are like down to the goals that we want, and that goals are to prevent further events, right? But maybe they have another cardiovascular disease, a stroke or another infarct, even with lower cholesterol levels, and one is wondering why did that happen, right? And what we know now is that this particular kind of cholesterol, which is lipoprotein little a, that might be the cause of having recurrent events. And the thing is that we do not have anything to treat that. That is genetically determined every time. So if you measure that type of cholesterol once in your lifetime, that's enough, because that's not going to change as far as we know during your lifetime. But that might increase the risk of having a stroke or a cardiovascular event. So in this seminar, we were talking about this, and I am particularly interested in this topic because I am conducting a research in my hospital about this topic, and we found some interesting data. So in the whole world, we are trying to know more about this lipoprotein, because we don't have anything to treat it properly nowadays. There are many of clinical trials going on, and we're waiting for the results because we want to know how to treat high lipoprotein little a levels. And that is really new, and that is really interesting. And we were talking a lot about this, because as it is genetic, if you found someone having that high cholesterol levels of this particular cholesterol, you will find someone else to have the same amounts of the higher risk.
So let me ask you this question: Why is it that that center, that place that you mentioned in Austria, that is what's the significance of that being the center of I mean, it's called the open research, right? So, do they specialize? Do they specialize in this part of medicine?
As far as I know, Open Medical Institute, which is OMI, this is organization, they have a lot of agreements with a lot of medical societies all around the world. Many are based on the US. For example, it's not that OMI, they are not experts in lipid metabolism, but they have the experts from Czech Republic, from, I don't know, UK, from the US, and they have them to teach us during classes or lectures during the seminar.
Oh, so Jose, you were sent as an expert from Mexico.
Oh, thank you.
We have an expert doctor friend
representing Mexico. Yes.
No,
yes.
I had really good teachers in my hospital, really good professors, and I thank you for your comment.
Maybe can you share some insight of what it was like actually, when you attend one of these this conference that you attended, because here you are actually on one hand sharing and trying to increase your professional knowledge with another doctor, another specialist, but also on the other hand, it's organized to kind of bring in a kind of social dynamic also, right? Like to bring in interaction or improve the relations between countries in terms of doctors and things like that. So maybe can you share with us like how how does it
The
work? I mean,
experience,
yeah, is it like going to school? Like you go there for a lecture, and then after that you guys have lunch. And, like, what is it like?
Yeah, actually, that was very enriching because yes, we were actually living in the same building. It's kind of a palace or a castle that is owned by Omi, and we have rooms, and we are all like professors, and all the fellows are under the same roof, and we are living together. We are having the lectures in the morning. We are having breakfast together, and I think the magic of this seminar happens during those breaks. Like when you are not on the lecture, you are having breakfast with the expert on lipoprotein little a, on cholesterol, on triglycerides, and they are sharing the knowledge like in a more casual talking. And also we get to discuss about the different social contexts, cultural differences around the countries, and I think that was really valuable because I was talking to the expert that described this type of cholesterol many years ago, and he's just having a Coke with me, and that is really cool to be. They were always so approachable, so I think that was really huge. And also we as the fellows from different countries, I mean they are from all different countries, and it was so interesting to know how they address the same medical obstacles that we might have here in Mexico. I don't know. There are a lot of, for example, a lot of fake obesity drugs in Mexico that is actually quite dangerous. And there are other countries that were like, oh, but how can that happen? How can the people think that those are real medications? But other countries were also having a similar problem in their countries. So it's really interesting to get to talk about this, like in a just a light talk, a small talk. And also we got the chance to see the city, and we were talking about how we deal with our patients. And you know me, and you know that I love to talk about medicine. So being in the whole community, talking about the things that I love, that I am passionate about, that was really a remarkable experience.
Yeah, and I'm sure like being in such an experience, you cannot help but grow, right? Like your medical knowledge. I mean, it's because it's so intensive, people all together, like, and they are also passionate and interesting. Yeah, so it's definitely a really good experience for you, like career wise.
Yes, and I also want to ask you a bit about like since this is a gathering of a group of esteemed doctors or specialists, right? Like what maybe some of the concerns that were brought up, or maybe things that you share about something new that we can look forward to coming up in the future.
Oh yes, actually yes. I mean, every country has its own obstacles, and they have their own way to manage things. But when we are talking about cardiovascular disease, it's like universal. Like um, the people in the world, if they are healthy, they're gonna die from cardiovascular disease or for a stroke, or this that is called atherosclerosis, which is the accumulation of cholesterol. So we every country we have different tools, maybe medication, maybe some newer medications are available in other countries, like not currently in Mexico, for example. But it was really interesting that in Croatia, they are doing actually more like a genetic screening to see if people is if a patient is gonna respond better to a medication than other one based on genetics. And that is like the future. Like that is so custom medication or healthcare based on your genetics, and they're doing this in Croatia, and I think that is important. And it's like we get to see a broader like how we deal, because here in Mexico we tend to see what the US is doing. Like they are doing the research, they are doing this with the medication. There are other countries that are doing really complex things, and they're making more approachable to the patients, and they're going to focus on a better healthcare system based on this. And I think that's the future, like genetic testing to address if someone is candidate to use that medication. That's going to be a life changer for many patients.
That sounds really, really exciting and interesting. And this idea about genetics. What do you think also? I mean, of course, without speculating too much and everything, but like, about the future of of healthcare, with regards to this, like I'm sure there's a lot of, okay, let's say, for example, to put it in context with the advent of like AI and things like that, new technologies like that. Of course, things are going to change, right? And things are already changing so fast. But I mean, as a doctor, and coming from your point of view, do you see, like what do you see happening in the medical kind of field? Like I'm sure changes galore, right? But like maybe you can comment a bit about that.
Well, it's a hard question because there's too many branches that we can talk about, like AI, like pattern recognition, and 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 I think this important thing about the genetics, that is going to be really important because that is the root of many diseases like cancer, like diabetes, like cardiovascular disease, like many endocrinological disease like thyroid, autoimmunity. In fact, we are just having the new medicine Nobel Prize being delivered to someone that discovered how we deal with antibodies and how we deal with the immune response to tolerate our same proteins, because sometimes our body is attacking us, attacking our thyroid, attacking our adrenal glands, attacking our joints, and we now know so much better. We have a better understanding about what is happening to it, and it's related to genetics and it's related to the immune system. So I think that is going to change the way that we treat maybe some types of cancer, and we do not have anything to treat autoimmune disease other than treat the consequences of that disease. But maybe in the future we will have a way to I don't know, to heal or to cure autoimmune disease, and that the body is not attacking themselves anymore. So there is a lot of going on.
Yeah, that is the wish and hope, right? Like we reach that point where we are able to, repair. I mean, this is at this point it's still a fantasy, right? I believe, but to kind of replace your limbs, and replace body parts that you would need as and when you need. Like
Yeah,
hopefully that'll be a point.
but many things were like we were dreaming about it, and now we have like glucose sensors, we have medication for obesity. This medication for obesity can be as effective as a surgery. So it's kind of crazy. We're in a really good moment of medicine now.
That's really cool, and it's like it's also good to be updated on like what's really happening instead of like the scam medicines that might be out there, right?
Yes, can you tell us a bit about that, because you sorry to cut you off, but you just mentioned a fat medicine is and right, a
Fat medicine.
yeah, fat
Yeah, but that's what it would be called, right? Obesity medicine.
obesity medicine. Yeah, is that part of the? Is that related to the research that you're currently doing in the city here in your hospital? Can you
Well,
comment a bit about that?
yeah, it is not directly related, but do you want to talk about my research or obesity?
Yes, actually, two things. I want to know about your research, but I actually first want to hear about this thing you mentioned about the fake medicines, right? And
Oh yeah,
obviously the real medicines. Yeah.
yeah. We have these medications were created to treat patients that live with diabetes, but they like the names, Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. Those are the main brands that we have today to address obesity, particularly Wegovy and Mounjaro, and they allow to reduce weight up to 15 to 20%, which is equivalent to a bariatric surgery. And these medications, they have a lot of benefits in health, in our hearts, in our kidney, in our liver. And what they do is they stimulate many receptors in our body, in our brain, to address how we have craving for food, or something that I want to eat something sweet, something grassy, fatty, and you have a better response, you have a better feedback when you are feeling full in your stomach. You're going to have a faster feedback on your brain that you are actually full of food, and you're not going to eat more. That is just in a really simple way of seeing it, but the medication is doing a lot. And we used to have some medications back in the past that were not as effective, and they have many adverse effects. So what we have with these medications is a medication that has a lot of benefits on liver, kidney, heart, also cholesterol, also triglycerides, and it allows you to lose a significant amount of weight. That is obviously we need to address the patient with a healthy lifestyle. That is the most important thing to do, and to have a follow up with a doctor, not just on themselves. They need to have regular visits on your doctor to see how are they doing and how are they getting to the goal of losing weight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Jose, this another topic altogether, but I wanted to know if like during your trip there, did you manage to like also introduce the, the doctor assistant app that you have? Did you, share it with the other doctors? I'm sure you did.
Yes. I think part of why I was chosen first, it was something related maybe to this app that I am involved in. And yes, I got to talk to many other doctors about the use of Ithaca, which is the name of our app. That is, our focus is not to diagnose the patient. It's just reducing the amount of administrative work that we are used to do. But yes, I was talking to them. Many friends from, well, now I say that they are my friends from Bulgaria, from Romania, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, many countries, and they were really interested too, and I am really thankful of their support.
What was can you give us some feedback, like when you first told them the idea, and over breakfast, what were the comments?
Well, they were actually a little bit surprised that we are doing this like based in Mexico City, in Latin America, that we are having such a product, because I show it to them, to some of them, how does it work, and they were actually impressed of how good is the quality of the medical notes that are being done automatically, not entering any kind of data, any kind of input, just listening to the conversation between a patient and a doctor, and that's it. And they were actually quite impressed. And yes, I invited them. I gave them a discount code so they can start using it.
Right. Yeah, that's actually great, because then you want them to like test it out, and it supports all different languages. Yeah.
We have English and Spanish, like the UI and the conversation between, but you can use a certain kind of instruction to translate in any language. But we are moving forward to have like full integration with more languages. But nowadays you can use it fully Spanish and English. Oh, thank you for sharing the webpage. Yes, that is.
Yeah, so this is the Instagram of Dhaka, right?
Yes, that's right.
And if someone wants to get more information about this, they can send you a direct message.
Yeah, they can send us a direct message, or they can write to our email. And we're having some conferences going on. We have one in Ecuador that's going to be next Tuesday. It's for free. You can register for free. Maybe later we can share the link.
Yes,
that's going to be for free, and we're going to send a certificate of assistance.
Great.
Cool. Yes, you send us the stuff, and we will share it on our network here. And as we've been telling the past few guests also, what we like to treat that foreign show as kind of like a family, right? A family situation. So being on the show, it's your second time. We want to invite you to also share with us your journey.
Yeah, all your updates.
Yes.
Yeah, like basically, that's what we mean by the family. Is
yes.
Like, every guest, we want to keep in touch with them all the way, and what they're doing, how they're growing.
Yes. No, and with that in mind, I also want to ask you, Jose, maybe if you can tell us a bit more about the kind of research or the kind of activities that you're involved in here in the city, Mexico City, your lab, and maybe you can tell people also, because when you mentioned this app, and it's pretty interesting. It's very futuristic, and it's embracing new technology. So maybe can you also tell us a bit about how you look at technology with regards to your work?
Yes. Like I always try to combine the things that I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about technology and having a way of doing things easier for us. And in fact, in this topic about lipids, about fat, about cholesterol, triglycerides, it is a common misconception in all our country and apparently in many other countries, as I talk to many other colleagues from many countries, that patients stop using the medication for cholesterol either because they don't want to continue with a medication for life, or either because another doctor told them to stop them because they saw normal cholesterol levels and there is like okay, your cholesterol levels are good now, you can stop medication. And that is not true, because if they stop the medication, if they stop taking it, the blood cholesterol is going to rise again. And what I want to do with this, and what I advise when I do webinars and conferences about Ithaca, in a public health system, we can address this, as the app can tell you what is the risk stratification for this particular patient. So I don't need to do anything. Just giving the consult with my patient, and the AI in my medical note, it will give me the goal of cholesterol that this patient has based on their profile. So I think that is really important, because if we apply that to a national program, every patient is going to have the risk stratification, and the doctors, they will know the specific goal for that patient. And I mean, for maybe for my colleagues that are endocrinologists, cardiologists, they don't need that, because they're going to know the risk, because that's what we do every day. But general practice doctor, or a doctor in a rural town that they don't have access to a lot of these update programs, maybe they can use this, and maybe we will address the burden of cardiovascular or cardiometabolic diseases in my country. So I try to focus a little bit on that.
And I mean, I'm just thinking, based on what you say, does this also mean that you can actually, doctors who are not even diagnosing in this field can also benefit, right? Because as they are consulting with their patient, they, at the end of the consultation, they will get like what you
More
what you said,
information,
more
right?
information.
Yeah, and they don't have to do anything. It's just gonna be an instruction, a general instruction for every patient that we see.
Wow. Yeah, so it's really revolutionary, right? Like,
yes, and
so good for everybody. I think, yeah, you should definitely share it to every country that's possible.
Yes, it sounds very exciting.
And this is something I think, like in my research area, right? But maybe a nephrologist can think in something for the kidney, and something for the heart. I don't know. It has many kinds of ways of taking advantage of this technology.
Right. So, okay, like back to the trip, like we would definitely like to hear, like, if you have any accounts of, like, memorable moments and anything interesting, like, yeah, something more cash right now.
Yes, I have. I mean, I'm quite sociable, and we were 3 Mexicans there, and I think like we added a little bit of spice, of sparkle to the conferences, as
yes,
we are. Yes, as we are more active. I don't know, like they were all the fellows from different countries. They are all leaders on their countries, so they wanted to have fun, yes, but maybe they lack a little bit of initiative. And we were like, yes, we need to go for a beer, and let's go to this old brewery. We're gonna go, I don't know, in a travel. We're gonna have a taxi to a nearby village that is 30 minutes far from here, and we came up with a plan, and that was really amazing. We had a lot of fun. Particularly, I remember a friend from Georgia, Tamar. We got to know that her birthday was on that day that we were there, and we already had plans. And she was not like, she had her own plans, and we, as a group, we had other plans. But at the end, we need to have dinner at the same place. So my friend Martin from Bulgaria, he came up with the idea of surprising her with a cake. And during dinner, we had a surprise cake. We sang happy birthday. And I told to my fellow Mexican friends, let's sing Las Mañanitas to her. We put mariachi version on our cell phones, and we were singing Las Mañanitas to her. And she was like, I don't know what is going on, but this is so funny. And everyone was pleased to hear us. We were singing so bad, but but I mean,
She felt the spirit, right? Felt I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
song
it's
really
like
suited the mood.
Yeah.
it was like a warm gesture. I know that Tamar will remember that birthday particularly, and we all had fun, and we have our WhatsApp group, and we are sending memes, we're sending pictures, and this is really valuable because maybe we're gonna see another time in another international conference, and we're gonna stay updated on our researches, on our social lives. So
Yes, for sure.
it's really amazing group.
And especially since the world is getting more connected now.
Yeah. But I mean, like meeting, actually physically meeting it's going to be so cool each time, right?
Yes, and also productive, and it also gives birth to other kind of intentions and things.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this thing that you mentioned just now, and you talked about taking the initiative in that moment when I mean, of course, when after work is done, right? And then when that people actually want to engage and have fun in that moment, and you and your friends, I mean, you organize that, and why I want to highlight that is because I'm thinking that is also kind of a metaphor for I mean, yourself being a young doctor, right? And you mentioned that some of your other colleagues over there are are much more senior, right? So I think that maybe, what do you think about this, about newer doctors, or this newer generation of doctors and things that come in? How do they keep that spirit?
Oh, sorry, I can hear. Oh,
Yes. Okay.
Everyone's
We're back.
yeah, sorry. What was the question again?
Yes. Okay. So basically, the question is this about new doctors, younger doctors, and this injection of new ideas. How does that how does that play out in this kind of situation? And actually, more personally, the question I want to ask you is, how do you inject that kind of freshness into new thinking, new ideas, fun even, fun even into your field, into your field, which is very, I mean, from the outside, it's very scientific, very strict and cold.
Wow. I'm not entirely sure about how to answer that
Maybe
question,
just
but
being Mexican.
yes, I was gonna say that we are actually making fun of what we study, making fun of what we do every day, because something's like I don't know, like how can fat be interesting? So we make fun of that because that's our daily practice, and we came with the same experiences. I think now with the younger doctors, I think leadership is going to be really relevant, as doctors now they can be leader of opinion, and younger doctors are actually more prone to develop a YouTube channel or doing conferences with some pharmaceutical companies, and I think that is changing a lot from previous years or older generations of doctors, and also the connection with other countries, like attending international conferences. I was actually impressed when I was in San Francisco some months ago with a med student from Brazil, and she's ruling like a meta-analysis educational center in Brazil, but they have a lot of students from all around the world, and they are leaders on doing this type of meta-analysis. Is a kind of research that is based on previous studies, and it's really complex. And I was like you are a med student, but you're doing so much change to the world. You are helping so much to the science, and one just can imagine what she will do in a couple of years. So it's like amazing.
Yeah, because like when you when you meet people, usually in this like events, right? Like you are meeting most of the time the best of the best people who are really in the cutting edge of the like fields, right? Like researching and all that. So,
Yes, and most of the time when you look at this best of the best kind of people, they're not just the best in their field, but they're really good because they're also really good in some other field, you know, and that kind of gives them a bit of a different kind of, creative way to be better at their job, right? And yeah, so that's why I found that question really. I found your comment about the taking initiative to make things happen and for the interaction. I found that very very interesting, and this thing that you're talking about, newer doctors and newer doctors doing new things, it's at the end of the day, I think it benefits all of us, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And
What was their reaction like when we were sharing about your business, the app, Itaka?
The reaction where?
Reaction from the other doctors in the seminar, like when you were sharing the app, what was their reaction?
Yes, they were really supportive. In fact, some of them were already sharing on Instagram about the AI. Even before I get to share them the link, they were already talking about, oh, this guy from Mexico, he's doing this cool thing about AI, and I was really thankful of that. And yes, they were really supportive. I was giving my business card to everyone, and they were registering and maybe sharing with them. My fellow partner from Mexico, the other one is from Colima, and he was sharing to his students the link so they can also use it. So I'm really thankful to all of them, and they're all gonna share. They're gonna have discounts.
Great. So it basically just through the website they can purchase the app.
Yeah, they can register for free. They can use every tool that we actually offer for free for a limited trial, and that free trials are gonna reset every month. So if they want to use it further, they have to pay a monthly or yearly subscription fee.
Okay.
We have different plans. So some plans are directed to students, some other for researchers, and there is the highest value, which is premium account.
all right, Jose, we're coming to close to the end of the show, so we're going to be asking you the final few questions, right?
Yeah, right.
And let me ask you this: how did you actually get into this business of Ithaca? Like how did you get interested in technology, or specifically AI?
Yeah, as I said, I was really interested in technology and addressing like medical education, doing better. I had some other before not too complex projects in my residency in internal medicine. But then I went to a bar with some remote workers event, and I get to know a really genius guy, which is Mike, and that he's my boss now, and he's the founder of Ithaca. He showed me his idea. He told me, I want you to give me feedback about this. And I started to use the beta version of the product. And I was just giving feedback like, we need this is inaccurate. And we were started building together what Ithaca is now. And I am now medical director. I'm doing conferences, I'm doing webinars, I'm doing some of the marketing, and I'm doing the talk with some other projects that we have with hospitals, with telemedicine companies, and we are actually moving really fast with this project. I'm really happy. I'm really proud of being part of this, and this is something to be proud that is made in Mexico for Latin America, but also it can be used in many other countries. Nowadays we have 18,000 users, and we're being used in more than 30 countries. So I'm really proud of this.
Awesome. 8,000. That's really good for like that. And your partners, they are Mexicans as well. I don't know why I assumed that they were like from another country.
Yes, I remember that one of them was, right? Well, he's from Israel.
They are living here in Mexico for the last 9 or 10 years, I think.
Okay.
But from Florida, yes.
Okay, actually, yeah. So it's another international collaboration then, right? Yeah.
It is. But this is all made in Mexico City,
Made in Mexico. Yeah, that's really
right?
cool.
For Latin America. This is, in fact, this product was first done in Spanish, then moved to English.
So, like, you've been traveling like for like the last time when we spoke to you when you came on, you were talking about your solo trip, right? And that one's nothing to do with medicine. This one is specifically for a conference. I mean, for a seminar.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel like all these traveling experiences have like helped you to grow as a person?
Yeah, no, I love. I mean, what I was really more happy about is that it's all paid by the company. So I got the chance to be in Europe again for the second time in 1 year. So I was really pleased to do that, and to have some free time to see museums, to see some medieval fortress, and to travel a little bit in this, having a tour. The movies, The Sound of Music, was filmed in Salzburg, so they have a tour, and it was really fun to see the locations where the film was filmed. And it is an amazing experience. I mean, this was just a solo travel, as I was traveling with no friends, but at the end we were having a lot of friends from 20 different countries, being on a brewery together. I particularly enjoy beer, like craft beer, or getting to know the beer in different countries. So I was really happy with Stiegel, but I also get to know a brewery that it's open since the 1621. So it's really old brewery. They only accept cash, and they have the old barrels made of wood, and they serve the beer from that. That is amazing for me. That I was really happy in that place with my friends, and it's such a big experience too, because it was not something just related to medicine. It was related to cultural difference, cultural exchange, and different social contexts. And I got home with a lot of new international friends. We had this inside joke. When we deal with patients with a disease, we avoid telling them the disease on themselves. It's like, you are not an obese patient. You are a patient living with obesity, because that is actually how we deal with this kind of diagnosis.
So
We
they're
are
not like labeled, right? You know, they don't
exactly,
identify
that's the goal.
identified,
We're
right?
not labeling the patients as living with but they're living with a condition, with a disease. And we're having fun about, I don't know, I'm living with stress. I'm living with the stress of the exam tomorrow. And we were having this inside joke, and we filmed a show video. That was my idea, to film. Everyone's gonna film something fun with the I'm living with happiness. I'm living with, and I said, I'm living with a lot of new international friends.
Right, right. So like the positive take on like the diseases.
Yes, yes, that was really fun to do. It
Oh,
was
that's
really a
cool.
remarkable experience.
Yeah. So like we have reached the end of the show. Thank you so much for giving us all these interesting information.
Yes.
No,
And
thank you so much.
at this point, we usually get our guests to give us some parting words of wisdom. Some advice. Or it could be anything that you want to address.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure to be here. My advice to anyone wanting to attend to this kind of seminars is, try to focus on the area that you are passionate about, and do something in your setting, in your clinic, in your hospital, in your local town, in your city. Start doing research, or start doing something with the topic that you are more interested, because that's how people's gonna know about you. You're gonna get more attention if you are dealing with the topic that you are really more interested to, and the experts on that topic in the world, they're gonna be interested in you. So, sending emails, having conferences, attending local conferences, that is always gonna be helpful, to be seen, and to be like having these opportunities in the future. So that would be my advice. I don't have relatives that are doctors. I don't come from a wealthy or famous family. I'm just a doctor that I'm trying to do the best I can every day. So that would be my advice to every health professional.
I think that's a very good advice even for any a person in any industry, because it's like go to what you're passionate about, and then you will rise in, like, the attention will go there because you're feeling that space.
Yes, really resonate with what you said there. There was some brilliant advice. Thank you so much, Jose, for coming back on the show. And again, we want to invite you to be part of our thing here, and want to invite you to share, the things that happen with you in the future. So signing off here on ADR Networks, I'm Isaac Rakesh.
I'm Celestine, and we have Jose Puentes with us, Dr. Jose Puentes, and
Bye-bye.
we are here on ADR Networks,
Activating your senses. Bye.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, y'all.